Hey bikers, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing great. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix a knuckle guard to the KTM Duke 390. Stay tuned and watch this video until end. So we will be using a combination of stock mounting setup, and we'll also be incorporating some additional stuffs that we need today, like washers, nuts, a double tape, and a basic tool to fix this whole setup. If you haven't watched my previous video about unboxing this product, just click on this icon above and you can watch that video. To fix this setup, we will need these M6 nuts. These nuts are similar to the one I got within the package. I got this additionally apart from what I've got in the package. The reason is because sometimes we might lose these small nuts while we're fixing. So that's the reason I got those additional nuts. And we'll be using some washers. So you can pause the screen and take a look at the specifications for reference. We'll be using some double tape and of course basic tools. So watch the video until end and make sure that you're not missing any step. So let's get started. So these bar ends that I got with the product is of no use for us today because it's not compatible with the 2023 Duke 390. So we're not going to need the whole thing, but instead we'll just need that end circular clips. That's the only part that we need today. So I'm just going to quickly dismantle this and show you the part that we'll be using from that bar end setup. So we don't need that, and we don't need that big screw as well. It's too big, it wouldn't fit to the 2023 Duke 390. All we need is that small outer ring. So now carefully observe what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to use this washer. This is a copper washer. The reason I got a copper one is because they didn't have the aluminium or the SS one. I'm using all these three rings because copper is light, and if you're using aluminium you can use one or two, that'll do. So I'm just going to fix that copper washers like that. I'm just going to do the same thing to the other one as well. So the size of these washers and stuff depends on the bar ends that you get. So get a size that exactly fits that ring, just in case if you're getting another knuckle guard. So I've just taken the left knuckle guard and I'm just going to clip that whole setup on the inside of the knuckle guard. Normally it goes on the outside, but later in this video while we are fixing it, you'll understand why I came up with this idea. It clips nicely. So remember, I've just clipped it on the inside. That looks good. We're just going to do the same thing to the other knuckle guard as well. Right, that looks good. So later you'll understand why we are doing that. Another thing I wanted to show you is this joints that clip to the handlebars. So basically that end of the knuckle guard goes on the handlebars and we connect them with the help of the screws. Now to make the grip much more better and firm, I'm going to use a double tape in between those joints, just like that in the middle, so that it provides a better grip on the handlebar and it doesn't slip. So I hope you've understood the video so far. So let's go to the motorcycle and I'll show you how to fix these knuckle guards. So to fix this, we will need a 5mm Allen key. That's the only tool we need. So that's it. I'll see you on my bike. That's my gorgeous Duke. Absolutely love it. So carefully observe every single thing I'm doing. It's quite simple. It's not rocket science. So I've just removed the stock bar ends, and those screws are not stock screws. It's the same size but just a longer version. I used it when I fixed my bar and mirrors. As you can see that it's not completely a hollow section there. As you can see here that I've used the double tape just like that, and I haven't unwrapped it yet. I'm just going to make some adjustments before I remove the sticker on the top. Just make sure that your knuckle guards are aligned well enough. All the wires underneath are properly fixed before you tighten them. So the idea of using the double tape is basically just to provide a better grip so that when you tighten the screws, it holds to the handlebar much stronger, and ensure that your brake lever is not knocking the knuckle guard. So I'm just going to unwrap the sticker. One tip that you can follow here is before you tighten the screws or when you're making some adjustments, use a pencil or a chalk to do some marking on the handlebar, just so that you know where exactly you have to tighten. Just ensure that all the wires are neatly organized. Just going to remove the sticker on the other end as well. So those hex nuts, M6 nuts, go into that joint like that, and then you basically just tighten the screw from underneath. One thing to remember here is do not tighten your screws completely at the initial stage while you're setting up. Leave it a bit loose so that you can do some final adjustments and then tighten it up once everything looks good. So the one on the right looks good to me. So the reason why I used that copper washers and that clip on the inside is because there should be a gap between the throttle and the knuckle guard so that it's free and loose. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. So there you go. If you want to know the size of this screw that I'm using, just click on this iCard above. That's the video where I fixed my bar and mirrors. So in that I've definitely mentioned the size that I've used. It is the same size as the stock one, but it is just a bit longer because I had to use it when I fixed my bar and mirrors. So the same thing on this side, I've used the double tape. Basically we're just going to do the same thing that we just did. So another tip that you can keep in mind here is, like you can see, I'm referring to that KTM print, and then a small hole on that knuckle guard, just to make sure that I'm fixing it right. So you can use any such things or indications that's available on your motorcycle, just to make sure that the levels are neat and good. And of course, ensure that you can engage your clutch lever without any obstructions. It shouldn't knock the knuckle guards. Even if you're wearing gloves, just make sure you have sufficient space to freely engage the clutch lever. So there you go, that's my marking. As I mentioned, you can use a pencil or a chalk just to ensure where exactly you're going to tighten it. So I'm just going to use my indicators in this case to make sure the vertical alignment. So the reason I got that additional nuts is because in the past I've lost some nuts while I'm fixing it, and I found it really hard to refix it. So just to be on the safer side, I got some additional nuts from the local store. So the whole idea of that washer setup was just to ensure that my throttle is smooth. So just giving a recap, so basically that's the joint which goes on the handlebar. I've used the double tape and I've screwed them from underneath, just like that, using a 5mm Allen key. So that's pretty much it. So before you tighten all your screws completely, just make sure that it's level and nice. As I said, you can use any reference point that you feel is good. Ensure that your clutch lever and brake lever is operating without any obstructions. So in my case, I'm happy, so I'm just gonna do a final adjustment and I'm gonna tighten the screws completely. So the most important thing here is your throttle has to engage and disengage smoothly without any obstructions. So keep that in mind and let me know what you think about that idea in the comment section below. Alright guys, I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions or concerns, just put that in the comment section below. I hope you found this video useful. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel, show some love and support. I'll see you all with another video on my channel. Until then, stay safe, take care, and have a good one.